Back, sat down with thogdad. How we doing?
Hey, not too bad. I've got a new t-shirt on, Theo. Take a look at that.
What
Tastes like promotion.
Well, what tastes like promotion is the round of 16 is out, but where do you get that shirt?
Oh, I just had it made up. Do you like it?
I love it. I mean, do you know what? I want to buy one of them. Where can I do that?
You can't. They're not for sale. It's
What,
just a one-off.
Think about the TDL.
Nobody wants this.
I think they do. Look at the detail on the front of that. The pyro. That tastes like... You've even got a beer bottle on there.
I've got a moody thogdad on.
Do you know what? I'm going to put a statement out there. You're going to have to agree. 20,000 likes on this video. We will drop those shirts. Limited edition for the fans.
It's a deal. It's a
Confirmed.
steal. It's sale of the century. In fact, nah, I'm going to keep it.
Stand up once again, Thogdad. 20,000 likes. Drop it on the video. We are releasing these limited edition for a few of you guys. Back to the football. Our early last 16 Champions League predictions. We're going through all 8 matches. We're going to pick who makes it to the quarterfinals already.
This is outrageous because the games are going to be played in 3 months' time. But we're
I know.
going to do it anyway.
We're
aren't we?
doing it because they've released it today. There's a hype
We're
around
going to do
it.
it anyway. RB Leipzig 6th in the Bundesliga against our very own Manchester City 2nd in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, RB Leipzig had a slow start to the group stages, lost 2, but then they went and won 4. But, Theo,
Absolutely,
they
yeah.
conceded more goals than any of these 16 teams.
I'd say their standout player is Christopher Nkunku, and Nkunku's wanted by everybody. So if Leipzig want to do something in the Champions League it's this season, they've even created results like beating Real Madrid at home 3-2. And the way they play is they're not going to have most of the ball, but when they're on the ball, they're going to get in your face. They're going to take shots, shoot on sight, counter-attack using the flanks. Marco Rosa didn't do well at Dortmund, but he's doing well at Leipzig.
Manchester City are going to absolutely batter them. Now, there's one stat that most people won't know, Theo. Joint tightest defence at the group stages, Manchester City. That is ominous. They have this capacity to mess it up, Man City do, but it won't be against Leipzig. I think City will win this overall by 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah, and I must admit, when you've got Erling Haaland, it's a cheat code. Kevin De Bruyne, doesn't matter on who the opponents are, when they link together, it's a real threat. They can beat anybody, and that's why they're favourites.
Club Brugge against Benfica.
No, sorry, Dad. Where's Bruges?
I had no idea where it is. It's in Belgium.
It's in Belgium, really.
And
yeah.
they're up against the
Yeah.
Portuguese. So these are 2 teams, Theo, from the lower league.
Our Uncle Stuart brought bad luck to Bruges. They had a perfect goal difference, 7 goals, 0 conceded, won every match in the Champions League. And then Uncle Stuart turned up to Bruges against Porto. They got battered 4-0.
Benfica, they finished above PSG, Theo. That says it all. They're absolutely smashing their domestic league as well.
Where do we start? They're first in Group H, first in the Portuguese league. Their standout players for me is Rafa Silva and Grimaldo, but closely followed by the whole team. Now, they kill off teams. We saw against Maccabi Haifa, they won 6-1 to go first in the Champions League group. And that allowed them to get an easier fixture, which is why they're playing Club Brugge, which is amazing. I think they've already qualified for the quarters. I think they're going to go and smash this. It's the easiest verdict of the day, Benfica to go to the quarters.
And I agree with you, Theo. This won't be close overall.
Put your house on
to
it.
go through. Liverpool against Real Madrid. It's the 4th favourites against the 5th favourites.
Yes.
These 2 teams, Theo, have won 20 titles between them over the years. This should be the final, really, shouldn't it?
I think this proves that we're already going to see Champions League classics at this stage, and one of them can't win the Champions. That's the amazing story. Someone's getting knocked out.
Liverpool started by losing, but they've then won 5 in a row, and Mo Salah en route for the Golden Boot.
Dad, this
Theo.
match is usually a Champions League semi-final or the final
Or
match
final.
itself, because you've got one team who have won it 6 times, the other 14 times. The Champions League final last year was these 2 teams playing in Paris. Will we see revenge this time round? It's 2 legs, first in Anfield, second at Bernabeu. But we all know second legs at Bernabeu, how they usually ended up from last year. That's all I'm going to say.
Overall, we know Liverpool have had a difficult domestic season, won 5, drawn 4, and lost 4. But remember, these games are going to be played in 3 months' time. I think by then, Darwin Núñez will be firing on all cylinders.
Well, he's already looking good.
Yes.
And I was at the round of 16 match with Darwin Núñez last season. It was Benfica against Liverpool, and he scored. He really loves a Champions League knockout match. He's well up for it. And the way Liverpool implement him in the left forward position, I think he's a real threat. Everybody can't deny how good they are. They've got Camavinga and Tchouaméni breaking through a midfield team with Modric and Toni Kroos and all these big names. I just can't call it.
I've changed my favourite again and again on this one. Now, Real Madrid, unbeaten in La Liga so far, Theo. They cruised through a relatively easy group. I called the result of the final correct last year,
you did.
Theo. I think Real Madrid will just sneak through.
Let's be honest, Liverpool Premier League hopes are over. Maybe they'll get second. So full focus will be on Europe. We don't know which the big injuries are going to be once this game happens in February, March time. So At this stage, I'm going to go Real Madrid.
Yes.
You can't deny domestic form. And I think the way Real Madrid are playing, they're not scared of anybody.
Don't forget, Theo, that Real Madrid have won this tournament 14 times. It's in their DNA, Real Madrid to win. AC Milan against Tottenham Hotspur. It's Italy against England. What could possibly go wrong? Now, AC Milan...
Don't put it like that. You didn't have to put it like that.
They were runners-up to Chelsea, weren't they, in the group? But they've won this tournament 7 times. A lot of people don't know that.
And slowly we're seeing an AC Milan team which is starting to get back to their best. With players like Rafael Leao, Theo Hernandez, Tonali, Benacer, I see a lot of potential. Under Pioli, they play exciting 4-2-3-1, full throttle football, which might cause Tottenham a real problem. Even in their Champions League group, where they're against Marseille, Frankfurt and Sporting, they nearly got knocked out on the final day.
That is true, Theo. Now, Spurs won the group with the last kick of the group stages. What an amazing group that was.
By the time of this match, Richarlison, Kulusevski, they'll be back fully fit, like guaranteed. Loads of options there, same with Heung-min Son. Tottenham, fully fit, win this game. But AC Milan could cause a real problem, and especially if they lead at home at the San Siro for its final year, its final experience of a Champions League night after holding so many titles within that ground. Maybe they're just going to end it on a special note.
Very tough one, this, Theo. I think it's going to be very close. Maybe 1 goal in it over 3 hours. I'm going with AC Milan.
Okay, I'm going to go with Tottenham. I think fully fit. They've got world-class qualities in Harry Kane, Heung-min Son. I can't write it off. This is a reminder. No, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. This is a reminder for 20,000 likes. No more mugs. Get that shirt. I want people to wear this. If we spot people wearing this shirt on the street, we're going to follow you back on Instagram. It's a guarantee.
Eintracht Frankfurt against Napoli, isn't it? Yes. 5th in the Bundesliga against top of the Italian league. Now, Frankfurt, surprise package, really, to get this far.
I know, but they are Europa League winners. They're European. They went all the way in the Europa League and won it.
That is true. That is very, very true. We shouldn't forget that. But Napoli this season won 5 out of 6. The only game they lost was to Liverpool, wasn't it?
Everyone's speaking about how good they are, but we can't forget the World Cup is a massive break, and a lot of their success is built on momentum. Will they be the same in 3 months' time?
Well, all I can say, Theo, they scored more goals than Bayern Munich at the group stage with 20 goals, which is amazing.
Know. But you ask any Italian about Spalletti, about Napoli, they have a great first half of the season, but they slowly fade away. Do you think Frankfurt take advantage of that?
That's a very good point, Theo, but I think overall Napoli will win this comfortably, maybe by 2 or 3 goals over 3 hours.
Seriously, you're that convinced?
Napoli.
At the end of the day, they are first in Group A. They're going to win Serie A, I still think. And Kvara, Osimhen, Raspadori, Simeone, Kim Min-jae, the Polish duo. Right now, I'm going to back Napoli. But injuries come into play. I think they could be a little bit worried. Never write off Frankfurt. The likes of Kamada, they've got in that team. Kolo Muani and Ndicka at centre-back. I'm really impressed with how they're improving as players. Oliver Glasner is a manager with real European heritage, and he can knock out teams as an underdog many times. So let's see what happens.
Borussia Dortmund against Chelsea. These are 2 teams who've won this tournament before, Theo, but Borussia Dortmund, your favourites really, only got 9 points to qualify. No team got less points.
I've watched Dortmund so much this season, so I can talk about it like it's on the back of my hand. Standout players for me this season has to be Bellingham and Schlotterbeck. The way Schlotterbeck drives with the ball from centre-back.
I think in 4 years' time, he'll be the best player in an England shirt.
Maybe in the world. The guy's ceiling is crazy, and he's way better than Musiala. I don't even want that comparison. But for Chelsea, they'll have Reece James and Ben Chilwell back. And in that Arsenal game, I feel like they missed creativity. They missed a wing-back. Chelsea are a Champions League winning side, and they still play a somewhat similar system. I know Potter's trying to change it up a bit, but there's qualities there, and with creativity, I think they are favourites to win this.
I believe, Theo, that over the next 3 months, Graham Potter, he's got to be a bit more lucky with injuries. And also, he's maybe got to bring in a couple of players during the January transfer window.
Centre mids. And also, N'Golo Conte could be back by this time. With injured players coming into play, I'm going to back Chelsea. I know it hurts because I actually want Dortmund to win. After going to so many matches, I'd love to see them on a little Champions League run.
And I agree, Theo. There is more depth to that Chelsea squad. Chelsea to win. Inter Milan against FC Porto. 2 more teams, Theo, who've won this tournament. Now, Inter finished ahead of FC Barcelona. That's not bad, is it?
That's the best achievement they've done this season.
Yeah, it is.
Because they're 7th in the Serie A, and that is really worrying. I think full focus is on Europe. But they finished 2nd in Group C, which was the group of death. Special players like Martinez and Barella turning up when need be. I also like Dumfries. He's really good on the flank drives with the ball. He'll probably have a good World Cup with the Netherlands. He did really well in the Euros. So they're favourites to win this, right?
They are favourites, Theo. Now, Porto, one of 2 Portuguese teams to survive to the last 16. They've won 4 in a row at the group stage.
I don't know. I think Inzaghi will take them to the next round. I've got a feeling. But let's not disrespect Porto. second in the Portuguese league, first in the Champions League group,
Yes.
knocked out Atletico.
Yes.
If they can knock out Atletico, not just out of Champions League, out of Europa as well, they just crashed out.
Never bet against Porto. They have a chance, but overall,
Facts,
Theo, I
yeah.
think narrowly into Milan.
You going for that?
I am.
Taremi, Otavio, Pepe, if they want to turn it on and drop a masterclass, back the Portuguese.
And last but not least, it's Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich, the third
What a
favourites
game.
against the second favourites. These two teams, Theo, were unbeaten at the group stage.
And this all happened because I was at Juve PSG, where they decided to not chase a third goal against Juventus, who were already finished, and Maccabi Haifa a loss. So they were third place. There was nothing Turin boys had to play for. Someone needed to tell them that Benfica had somehow scored 5 goals in the second half. They probably went into half-time thinking, you know what? We win this game, we're good. And they were waiting a big round of 16 match, and that's why they're playing Bayern Munich.
Kylian Mbappe has been brilliant. He's got 7 goals. He's level with Mo Salah. Is he going to win the Golden Boot?
Great question. It depends how much Neymar and Messi are involved, right?
Yes.
What do you think about PSG under Christophe Galtier? They're a good team. They're smashing the French league. They're turning up in Europe when need be, but they still finish second in their group. And can they do it against Bayern Munich, who are also one of the biggest favourites to win this competition?
PSG have never won this tournament. We know they've got an absolutely sensational front three.
Yeah.
But in football, you need more than that. Bayern Munich will look at the PSG team and they'll see weak links elsewhere. Bayern Munich, 6 games, 6 wins. It's the only 100% record in this tournament.
Yes.
Scored 18 goals.
And
how can you bet against Bayern Munich?
They're now top of the Bundesliga, and their
Yes.
goal difference is stupendous. I mean, the way they wiped out Barcelona, I was at that game. Sadio Mane turned it on, and I was giving him stick because he didn't turn up as good in the last few games for Bayern Munich, and then he smashed Barcelona at their own stadium, knocked them out. And if he plays like that and
Yes.
brings Choupo-Moting into the game like he did, they could beat PSG.
So I'm going with German efficiency, Bayern Munich to beat PSG.
I'm going to go with PSG because Messi's the GOAT. After everything I've said, I've thrown you off, thogdad.
You have. Oh my goodness. I tell you what, you can't argue with this t-shirt. That tastes like promotion.
Lads, it's all on you guys. 20,000 likes.
20,000, yeah.
And we will drop a limited amount of those shirts to you guys. Let's stand up. I mean, the meme of Taste Like Promotion. Josh, roll the clip.
What's he getting? What's he getting? This is the big question. What's he getting? That tastes like promotion!
You put long and hard effort into designing that. Now, you had no intention of selling it, but if the love is there, we will.
We'll do that if you want it.
Smash it. We'll end it on that note. Please subscribe if you're new around here. Loads of World Cup content to come. Exciting times. See you in a bit.
See ya.